everyone, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue, and I'm here today to talk to you about Cricutizing an inexpensive frame so that it looks really glamorous. As you can see, this is something that I had around the house that I purchased on one of my craft excursions, and I thought, wow, this is great. I'm going to do something with it. So I'm going to talk about that today. We're going to talk also about this stuff. It's called sparkle paper, and it's a Cricut product. Now, I don't know if you can see here, but I would not call this paper, but it is sparkly. So I want to talk about this a little bit and how you cut it and what the difference is between that and, say, glitter cardstock. So let's just start with the name. It's called sparkle paper. That is the name that Cricut has given it. It is really what I would consider cardstock, a thick cardstock, possibly maybe poster board, a thin poster board, but it's definitely not paper. It doesn't matter. Don't get all hung up on the name. The bottom line is that it has its own setting in Design Space. You go to Custom and you choose, under Paper, you choose Sparkle Paper to cut this. And you see it comes in all kinds of metallics, but it also comes into these bright colors. There's purple, there's pink. I don't think I have a pink here, but a couple of blues. The reason why I like this stuff is that it's really shiny. It's not like cardstock where it's kind of got a grit to it. This stuff is super shiny. I think they explain it on Cricut.com. I think they call it sassy or something like that, or bold or saturated color or something along those lines. But as long as you know what you're getting when you're buying it, and you know that it's sort of just got the wrong name, it's a fabulous product. It catches the light. It's so pretty. So that's sparkle paper. Now, here I want to talk about frames. This is a 5x7 inch frame, and that's my lovely Gus, my first corgi. Anyway, so, you know, when it comes to frames, I buy a lot. I buy them whenever they're on sale, and I don't always fill them up with the pictures. So I'm guilty of that. I'm also guilty of keeping way too many pictures in my phone and not getting them printed out. So having frames around kind of encourages me to get those pictures out of my phone and into a frame where everyone can enjoy it. And here's the picture of M.O. When he was, I don't know, just over a year old at the beach, Cape Ann. I just love this picture. It's got a little stain on it. Another reason why you should put it in a frame. But anyway, this is 5x7. So when I do finally get around to printing out my pictures, I never know. Should I get 5x7? It seems like a lot of frames come in 5x7. Or do I get 4x6? This is my Gwenny, one of my first corgis, my second corgi actually, and a lot of people know who she is, Gwenny. Anyway, so I get these photos, and sometimes I don't know. 5x7, 4x6. I think the standard is 4x6, and so when you're stuck with, okay, I have a 4x6 photo that I want to frame, and this one in here is 4x6, but I have a 5x7 frame. So what can I do? How can I sort of close the space for the picture and still use this frame that I had on hand? So what you can do, what I've done here, is I have cut out with the sparkle paper and then a background of cardstock, just basic black cardstock. I've cut out some frames. I am going to be giving you the Design Space file, which is going to be in the Cricut community. I'm going to give you that Design Space file, say it twice, in Cricut community. It's going to be on my blog post, and there's 4 frames. They all come from a Cricut Access cartridge. Trying to remember if it's called Frame of Mind or Fancy Frames or something. There's a lot of choices there. I'm going to put a few in the file, but you can always just go and look at them if you go to cartridges and type in frame, and you'll come up with several cartridges that have a number of frame images that you can play with. Now these particular ones are in the style of Art Deco, because my house, which is an older house, is a Art Deco, a craftsman style home. So a lot of my decorations are a nod to that style of Art Deco. You maybe don't like that. These personally, these work for me, but what I'm telling you is that there are a lot of options. All you have to do is go type in the word frame, either in the image search or in the cartridge search, and you'll see an awful lot of options there. So these ones work for me, so that's what I did. And you see, this is just its simple background of black, which goes with my frame. And then I use the sparkle paper to cut this out. Again, I use my custom setting. Go to paper and choose sparkle paper. It cuts out beautifully, and it's very intricate. Designs come out from it. I'm trying to find the other ones that I have. Here it is. Just beautiful, isn't it? You know, and so I cut them out. You see? Make sure you match the correct backing, because it's not always that way. It doesn't always work. You see? Okay, so then what I did, I turned the frame over, and you'll see there are these little tabby things that are holding in the glass and the picture, where the picture is going to go. So you're going to just remove that. And right now I have my picture, and then I have my frame, and this is it. This is your frame. The frame and the glass. And I'll give you a tip on this with the glass before you go and actually assemble. Wash the glass or clean it with your Windex. Let it dry completely. Make sure it's dry completely before you start putting in pictures, because otherwise even just a touch of moisture is going to make the picture warp, and you don't want that. It looks terrible. So and then the next step would be putting in sorry, that's wrong. The next step would be putting in your frame and the back of the frame. And now here, again, here's my picture. It is 4 by 6, but you see my space has been shrunk to a less than 4 by 6 space. So I could put it in this way and I'd be okay. But what we do is we flip it over, and I say, oh no, I want to make it so that my Gus is like looking out onto the ocean, and he's sort of in the, I want to see all of his ears, because I love corgi ears, and I want to make sure that see some of that ocean in the background. And isn't that great how the sparkle is sort of playing off of his red color? So while I'm holding it like this, I got it sort of positioned exactly the way that I want it, right? I'm going to turn it around, still holding in the back, you see? And it's slightly off. I'm going to correct that a little tiny bit. And then while I'm holding it with my finger, I am going to place this on top. Try not to move that. Now, I would suggest that you play around with this a little bit. Before you actually close it up. And obviously I have to play around with it a little bit more before I close it up. Ears. Make sure it's matte. Down, ears. And you have to be really patient, like I'm trying to be here, and snap that in the back. Ta-da! When you get it sort of the way you want it, I'm going to fix that a little bit. Then you can go to the back and switch these little pins back, and it will hold your picture. Now, notice something. I did not use adhesive. I'm going to go back and I'm going to fix this, but I did not use adhesive between my layers. This is very important. If you're going to use adhesive, you need to use something called scrapbook tape, or something that you know is archival. Which means it's not going to yellow, it's not going to lift. But the best bet for frames is just no adhesive at all. It's just simply placing everything in and squishing it together with those back. And then, yes, maybe it might move a little bit, or it's a little bit of a pain to do at first. But once you get it in there, it looks beautiful, and nothing will happen to your picture. You'll have a beautiful picture that you can enjoy in your home instead of on your telephone. So that's all for today. Thanks so much for coming by. You can learn all about all of my projects on my blog. My website is MissRitaToTheRescue.com, and I blog just about every day about Cricut things, also about food, corgis, and my wonderful son, Mo. So we'd love to have you come and learn a little bit and enjoy and tell your friends. Thank you so much. Have a great day.